I would say probably the number one thing that people know about me, as if you know anything about me, is that I am a huge fan of the Marvel Comics universe. Starting from the beginning, when you get back to Stan Lee and Jack Kirby, I have always been on a journey to find what is the best fucking Marvel comic that exists out there. And oh my God, I think I just fucking read it. Amazing Spider Man Annual number 3. And oh my God, I just read this issue. Fucking masterpiece. I want to dig into it. I think it might be the funniest comic I've ever read in my entire life. Amazing Spider Man Annual number 3. Now, this book has a beautiful cover. It's it looks like a Jack Kirby cover. I don't think it is actually a Jack Kirby, probably. It's probably a John Romita cover, which let's just jump first of all. John Romita Sr. Oh my God. Like, just the defining voice of what Spider-Man looks like. I just think in general of what Spider-Man looks like. I think even more iconic than Ditko is John Romita's senior Spider-Man. And I don't think that's a hot take. I think that is true. I mean, there's a fact of the matter where Fantastic Four was Marvel's best-selling book at the time when they, launched all the Marvel comics. But then when John Romita Sr. started drawing Spider-Man at issue 39, I think 38, 39, it became Marvel's best-selling book, just with John Romita Jr. Or God damn it, it was just with John Romita Sr. over Jack Kirby books, over Fantastic Four, which I think is fucking crazy. This book is about the Avengers trying to recruit Spider-Man. The Avengers in the 60s are such a funny bunch of characters because I just think, we think about the Avengers today. Oh, it's brash, it's bombastic, it's badass, it's the movies, it's Hickman, it's Bendis. But back in the day, oh my God, the Avengers were made up of all the characters that just could not sell on their own. You got nerds on that team like Captain America and Hawkeye and Iron Man and Thor, just unsellables. Wasp, Giant Man, unsellables compared to all their other characters like Spider-Man and the Fantastic Four and the Hulk and stuff. These are unsellable characters. That's why they had to make the Avengers book. And so I think it's funny seeing them just being like, God, we need some cool fucking people on our team because we got no cool people on our team at this time. We formed pretty much because the Fantastic Four were busy. And so we needed identity. We got to get some new recruits. So they're around a table thinking we should fucking recruit Spider-Man. Now the Avengers try to think like, okay, we're going to recruit Spider-Man. First of all, should we? I think they all kind of agree that they should at least talk to him. So they decide, how do we get in touch with Spider-Man? I got an idea. Let's go find Daredevil and ask Daredevil for his opinion on Spider-Man and if we could find him somehow. So they reach out to Daredevil. They get in touch with Daredevil, who is a cool character, who is way cooler than any of these nerds. I read a fucking thing that said that when John Romita took over Daredevil, this is more John Romita glaze. When John Romita took over Daredevil, that book had the highest percentage selling as per how many issues it sold. That makes sense. Like it was selling the best percentage of issues compared to how many that they published. It's a way cooler stat when you exactly remember what it is. Anyway, and they ask Daredevil. The Avengers ask Daredevil, "What do you think of Spider-Man? Hey, you've met Spider-Man a couple times. What do you think? Is he cool? Like, should we invite him?" And Daredevil says,
More than a year ago, we fought side by side against the Ringmaster.
which is Amazing Spider-Man issue 16. That's a fucking good issue. Ditko and fucking Stanley, man.
And Spidey was a great partner, as great a partner as one could hope for. More recently, I encountered him again, and he was stronger and more skillful than ever. If he's being considered as a potential Avenger, he gets my highest recommendation.
Now Stan Lee gives our citations for these moments, right? And there are Daredevil issues 16 and 17. And I decided, you know what, fuck it. I'm gonna go down the rabbit hole. I'll read Daredevil 16 and 17 and see what the big deal was about that one Spider-Man adventure. Those issues are a doozy. We're gonna tangent about those. In Daredevil issues 16 and 17, these are drawn by John Romita Sr., written by Stan Lee. It starts with Karen and Foggy and Matt watching the news, and they see Spider-Man on the news, and Spider-Man's fighting this random bunch of goons, and they're just kind of thinking like, "Hey, man, Spider-Man's cool. I like Spider-Man. He's a pretty cool guy." And Matt's, secretly thinking like, oh, I met Spider-Man once. I thought Spider-Man was like a really great competitor against the Ringmaster or against the fuck. Brings up this Ringmaster thing all the time. And then we cut to the supervillain's lair, and the supervillain is like, got a bunch of guys dressed up as Daredevil, and he's like, I'm gonna send these guys out dressed as Daredevil to just cause mayhem. And when one of them finds Spider-Man, I want them to kick Spider-Man's ass. So then we cut to Spider-Man. Peter's just swinging around doing his business, and then a guy dressed as Daredevil starts attacking him. And Pete's like, "What the fuck, man? I don't deserve this." I'm like, I don't bother anyone, and I'm always getting fucked over. And Pete kind of crashes out over this, and he finds the real Daredevil, and he starts kicking his fucking ass. He starts fucking him up like he's pissed off. He's crashing out, man, and I think it's fucking hilarious. And then at the end of the fucking issue, Spider-Man is swinging around, and he gets his spider sense goes off, and it leads him to Nelson and Murdoch, attorneys at law, and he goes, "Oh my god, my spider senses are going off. This must be where Daredevil's from." He looks in the window. He goes, "That fat guy right there, Foggy Nelson, he's Daredevil." And he goes in and he kicks the shit out of Foggy. He beats up Foggy. What the fuck? Like, Peter, he grabs Foggy by the throat and he starts hanging him out a window. And he's like, "Tell me you're Daredevil. Reveal yourself that you're Daredevil." And Peter's like crashing out, and Matt and Karen are just freaking out. Anyway, this issue ends. Next parter, the issue ends where Spider-Man and Daredevil kind of, they butt heads a little bit. And then Daredevil's like, "Hey, man, that wasn't me. Relax." And Spider-Man's like, "Oh, yeah, sorry, man. I'm just going through a lot." And then they fuck off. And then so the next time Spider-Man is asked, or the next time Daredevil's asked about Spider-Man, he says, "Yeah, he was a good partner." What he really should have said was, "He's a fucking crazy maniac, and he's out there just doing fucked up shit to anyone he wants to when he gets mad." And I just think it's hilarious that Daredevil is like, "Yeah, the Spider-Man's great." No, he's not. Not from what you've seen. No, he's not. So anyway, getting back to the Avengers issue, the Avengers are like, okay, they asked Daredevil, and Daredevil's like, "Yeah, no, I vouch for Spider-Man. Spider-Man's sick." And then so the Avengers decide we're gonna go outside, and we don't know how to get Spider-Man. We're just gonna like go around the entire city and just ask around. Like they're just but like in patrol mode. Like Giant Man is walking through the street, probably scaring the shit out of people, going, "Spider-Man? Is anybody seeing Spider-Man?" It's like it's really fucking weird. Thor sees Spider-Man, and this part, oh my god, this blew my mind. Thor sees Spider-Man. Spider-Man says to Thor,
Well, wobble my webs and call me shaky. It's Goldilocks, the hippest hammer in the West.
now this is a talking Spider-Man action figure. My nephew owned this action figure years ago. And I remember, it talks, you press the button, it talks. And I remember there was this really weird line from Spider-Man where he says this really weird hello to Thor.
Well, wobble my webs and call me shaky. It's Goldilocks, the hippest hammer in the West. Hi, Thor.
What a deep cut for this fucking toy. That's so weird. Is that not weird? Who read this issue of Amazing Spider-Man Annual and went, like, which toy developer was doing that and was like, can we really add in this really weird line that Peter says that is not a type of thing that any person would say ever about anyone, in any situation? Can we make him say that? So anyway, Thor speaks to Spider-Man after Spider-Man says that really weird fucking line. And he's basically like, "We want you to join the Avengers. We think you're kind of slick, and we want to see what you can do on our team." And so he invites Spider-Man to go meet with the Avengers tomorrow. And then Spider-Man shows up tomorrow. And Spider-Man's like, "Oh my God, I'm shaking hands with the Avengers. Oh my God, hey, and Hank and Janet and Thor and Hawkeye." And they're like, "Yeah, Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver aren't here, but we don't really care. Between you and me, we don't really care for their opinions. They are DEI hires. They're mutants. We needed mutants on the team. So, besides you and I don't even like mutants. Like, like it's really kind of weird the way they talk about Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch. Anyway, the Avengers are kind of trying to sell it to Spider-Man. They're like, "Hey, you join the Avengers. The Avengers, we're not bad. we're not the Fantastic Four, but we're not bad. But we're not the X-Men. The X-Men suck. At least we're not the X-Men. The X-Men, their book's gonna get canceled pretty soon. But our book is not gonna get canceled. You want to sail in our book, Spider-Man? Even if your book goes, our book is always gonna be here. But they start thinking like, okay, well, we should make you go through a test. How about that? How about you do a test, you succeed, and we'll let you on the Avengers. And they're kind of thinking like, okay, what should the test be? And then Iron Man just randomly, really out of nowhere, just starts fucking picking on Spider-Man. He goes, "Hey kid, why don't you fucking get out of here? Stop staring at us so we can think of this test." And Spider-Man, again, from that previous Daredevil issue, is in his crash out era, just fucking gets mad, argues with the Avengers, and then starts kicking the shit out of them again. He's kicking the shit out of Daredevil. He's kicking the shit out of Foggy Nelson. Now he's kicking the shit out of the Avengers just for no reason because he got a little angry. It's fucking hilarious. He beats up the Avengers, and then they're like, okay, hey, how about this? That wasn't the test. Spider-Man basically explains it by going, "Oh, I think my test should be that I kick the shit out of all of you," which is weird. It's kind of what T'Challa did, but anyway, weird in the cartoon, not in the comics. In the comics, do that with the Fantastic Four. Anyway, weird. But then they're like, the test should be you go and get the Hulk and bring him back here because we miss him and we like want to talk to him again. And he's in the city and all of us are too lazy to do it ourselves. So how about you go do it? So Spider-Man's like, okay, I'll go and get the Hulk. And he's like, oh, I don't know where to find the fucking Hulk. Like, what's the Hulk? Like, how am I supposed to just find the Hulk? So he just busts into J. Jonah Jameson's window and just starts hassling him. In comes Foswell, one of the reporters, and goes, "Hey, the Hulk's on the loose." And Spider-Man's like, "Okay, fuck yes, this actually worked out. I was just here to bully Jameson, but actually this is gonna work out." So he goes and he finds the Hulk, and he just starts fucking fighting the Hulk. The Hulk's not, the Hulk's not bothering anybody. He's the Hulk, but he's not. He's not a supervillain. He's the Hulk. So Spider-Man just shows up to the Hulk and starts punching him, beating the shit out of him. Of course, he does not know the rule of the angrier he gets, the stronger he gets. So he's like, God, this guy's so strong. He beats him into Banner. Banner comes out basically, and Peter sees Banner. This is the first time that Peter Parker meets Bruce Banner, and it's kind of neat. And basically, Peter's just like, oh, wow, this guy lives with a fucking demon. This is a curse. I thought my deal was bad. This guy's a walking monster. And he starts to like really feel for Banner, which I think is really actually pretty interesting. And so he starts to feel for the Hulk. Banner hulks out again. Peter calms him down. He beats him up, staggers him, and he webs him up. He's like, all right, I'm going to bring him to the Avengers. And then he thinks, this isn't like bringing a criminal or something. He says like this is like bringing an animal to the slaughter, as if he's gonna bring the Hulk to the Avengers so that the Avengers can fucking execute the Hulk. Like that's what Spider-Man's thinking, and he's like, you know what? I can't bring him to the Avengers because I feel bad for him. He's not like a caged animal or like a wild bull. He's a guy. So he lets him go. And then he goes home and he's like, really sucks that I couldn't join the Avengers because I had to do the noble thing of not giving up the Hulk. But really, I feel like the lesson is that the Avengers are fucking assholes and the Avengers suck because they went to go get you this normal guy. Like Peter brings it on himself. It's like, no, dude, the Avengers suck. They're the assholes. They were too lazy to go get the Hulk, so they sent a teenager. That's his test. Did they send Hawkeye to do a test? I don't remember him doing a test. I don't remember him. He could shoot arrows. Okay, Spider-Man's super cool. He could probably shoot some fucking arrows. Daredevil's cooler than everyone in that room. He could shoot some fucking arrows. I don't think they had to make him go through a goddamn test the way they had Spider-Man do a test, but whatever. So yeah, that's kind of the issue. And I thought it was like reading it. I just thought this was the funniest comic book ever. Just Peter in his angry crash out era where Peter will start a fight with anyone about anything is just crazy. Like he is insane in this era, the John Romita era of Spider-Man. You do not want to fuck with that guy. It's just straight punches. He fucks up there's an issue where Peter fucks up the Rhino. He gets his head in like a head scissors and then just slams his head down horn first into the fucking ground. And it's like, dude, like, ouch, man. It's fucked up. Anyway, I had fun making this video. I want to make more videos like this, I think, coming up. And if you have any kind of topics, if you want me to read a stupid issue or something like that and do kind of this, I was gonna say deciphering as if it's some big mystery, but just breaking it down and making fun of them because these issues are hilarious. Let me know. This was fun. I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.